Welcome back to Mac Talks of Football, and what a massive win! What a huge win for Tottenham Hotspur against Aston Villa at Villa Park as they win the game 2-1 and get out of that relegation zone. I mean, it has been a perfect weekend for Tottenham Hotspur with Brentford, decimating West Ham United yesterday 3-0, and now Spurs winning that game against Villa 2-1 in an incredible way to get out of that relegation zone from the get-go. If I'm being very honest, when the team sheets arrived, you just knew, you just felt, where the game was gonna go. I'm gonna start with Villa because if I'm being very honest with you, I sort of expected this, because of what has happened. They are going to be in the Champions League next season, no matter what the situation is. I've said this for like almost now 2 weeks since Liverpool won that game against Fulham. I have said this. I said in my video in after the Manchester United and Liverpool game as well. For me, the top five are done. I think it's going to be the Arsenal, City, Liverpool, United, Aston Villa, and Liverpool. And the bottom three are going to switch places one way or another. Now it is between Villa and Liverpool. One of them is going to come fourth, and the other one is going to come fifth. So for them, the Champions League is secure. They don't really care about the league at the moment. For them, the main goal is the Europa League semi-final, and their concentration is towards that, especially because they have lost that first leg against Nottingham Forest 1-0, and it is going to be a huge game on Thursday night at Villa Park, and the fans and everybody is gearing up for that, as there's a big chance for Aston Villa to go on and win the Europa League, and Emery is not going to take chances. So you look at the starting 11 that he played with. He basically rested almost 8 or 9 starters, and played his fringe squad, and that just shows you the mentality and the thinking of Aston Villa. You cannot, the other teams in the relegation, especially West Ham, can get mad at them, they can get angry at them and whatnot. But you cannot really go ahead and question Villa in that regard, because for them it doesn't really matter. And the players that came in, they of course they would have wanted to win the game. They would have wanted to get, show the manager, to make a case for them to play in the Europa League game. But from the get-go, there was only one team that was desperate for a win, that showed the hunger, and that was Spurs. I said last weekend as well, when they were, I've been saying it, that they are getting better and better each week under De Zerbi. It was a big gamble bringing in De Zerbi, because the way that he plays, it takes time, and time was what the Spurs did not have. But slowly you can see the improvement, and there are still things that need to be that need to be done, that need to get better. But the problem is, at this moment in time in a relegation matter, what really matters is your hunger and your desire to to get the job done. And this was the perfect time to play. Unfortunately, I made a prediction video, but for due to some issues I was not really able to upload them, and I said in my prediction video as well that time as well. And this was the perfect time for Spurs to play Aston Villa, because they are so distracted. I mean, if this game happened after the Europa League semi-final, which they would have either won or they would have gotten out of it, you could have had a different type of a Villa, in a way, who were a team with a lot more confidence, or a team looking for revenge and to get let out their frustrations. But Spurs are lucky that they are playing them this weekend, where their mind is towards the Europa League final, because Villa did not come to play. Forget about winning; they really did not want to play this game. They really did not care about this game, and Spurs cared. Like everything in it was a life and death situation for Spurs in that game. And from the get-go, they just went at Villa. They dominated Villa with the possession, the way that they moved the ball. They were so good. I mean, and then to score those goals that they did, and as much as you hate players like Richarlison, because let's be very honest, he is like one of the biggest shithouse players out there. But you need players like Richarlison. You need players like with a character when you are in a situation like this, where in a situation where Spurs find themselves in. You need players like that who are gonna die for you. And Richarlison is one of those players. And again, today, the way that he played, he scored a goal as well. That's a huge thing. But the way that he played, the way that he pulls the team together, he gets the fans on you. I think that's a big advantage for Spurs to have a player like him, to have him fit as well. That's the main thing, because he gets injured so many times. Gallagher, I think that goal from that half line, a really good goal. He has been under a lot. He has faced a lot of criticism, but he has responded well. Again, he's one of those characters. Again, that he understands the concept. He understands what it means. If Spurs go down, these are the players that you need. And I think Spurs are lucky that they have them right now. the performances, the problem it is, I'm gonna say it again, they don't need to be spectacular. They don't need to play like special a world class football. You don't want a peak Barcelona or Manchester City's amazing Guardiola ball or whatnot. You don't need that. You just need players with hunger and desire and passion who want to fight for the badge and who can get the job done. And right now Spurs have like 4 or 5 players in that squad who are willing to do that, and I think that is really working. And again, I've said it before that I go to do appointment was the biggest shocker of the season, of all the things that have happened in Europe. This is not in the Premier League. You look all across Europe, a lot of weird stuff has happened, but for the Spurs to go ahead and appoint Igor Tudor was the biggest mistake. But now you could literally see the players respond to Roberto De Zerbi because they respect him, they are scared of him, they know what he can do, and it is that he brings a certain sort of aura and confidence in the players, and the same players who felt who look like they don't know how to play football are certainly now looking next to spectacular footballers, and they are moving the ball forward so quickly. And I think this weekend could be the one where they look back and they say this was the weekend where we got saved, because Brentford have did them a huge favor. And then again I'm going to say Villa did them a huge favor because Villa did not want to play this game. Villa's minds were not there in this game, and that helped Spurs a lot. And again I'm going to say, even though Villa did not mentally they were not there, Spurs still had to go ahead and do the job. They needed to get the job done, they needed to finish the job, and they have done it as well, and in a spectacular way, because they considered right at the end, and that could have 10 minutes before that, if Villa scored that goal, maybe Spurs would have been under a bit of pressure, but they considered solid because they sort of they relaxed right at the end, and that's why they considered. Apart from that, the intensity with Spurs play, you have not seen that intensity for majority of this season. And you're starting to see that intensity since De Zerbi has come in, and today it was on another level, and they were running after every single ball. All the 50-50 Spurs players were winning. They just were not giving up on anything, and they just wanted to get the to get the 3 points. They wanted to get the points and get the win and get out of that relegation zone. Now, psychologically, it's such a huge feeling. I personally felt, and I'm going to say it right now, I'll be honest, I felt that if Spurs, once they went in the bottom three, I did not think they were going to come out of it. But props to them and credit to them, they are now out of the bottom three, and it's psychologically, mentally, it's such an huge feeling to come out of that bottom three, because it takes such a toll for a player and for a manager and everybody associated with the club to hear that you are in a bottom in the bottom three of the league. So for Spurs to finally firstly to go into that, and now to come out of it, to fight their way out of it, I think that is going to be huge for them. And now I said it a couple of weeks ago that I don't think they are going to say be saved, and I thought they are going to get relegated. There's still a chance that they might get relegated. Football is a crazy game. 3 games remaining, and it's just a 2 point a point difference between them and West Ham. So anything can happen. West Ham can shock Arsenal next weekend. I really hope so that does not happen. But West Ham can shock Arsenal, and Spurs can lose the game, and they can come back right into that bottom three. But I just don't see it happening. I think this could be a weekend where West Ham unfortunately get relegated, and Spurs might end up getting saved. So this could be the turning point for Spurs, and De Zerbi is looking like he's going to be able to do what he was brought to do, and he might be able to keep Spurs safe. That's for me in this video. Let me know what you guys thought of the game, what you guys thought of Spurs' performance and Villa's performance as well. And do you think Spurs are going to be saved, or do you think they might still end up going down? Let me know in the comment section below. Like the video, share it as well. Click on the notification bell, and of course subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get to 600 subscribers before the end of the season. Less than 40 subscribers remaining, about a month remaining for the season to end. So please go ahead and subscribe and help the channel out. Until next time, bye bye.